Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Simon Javan Okello. I am excited to be here with you today for a special session of the Daily African Proverbs. I am especially excited to be here because I have my friend and my brother, Kwasi Kabiro, who, many people know him as a DJ because, he's a man of many talents, but he's also a family man. And what many people don't know about, my brother Kwasi is that he's also so much into crypto and the digital currency revolution that is taking over the world. And over the last 3 weeks, we've been holding a conversation, and last week we decided that now we are going to make it public so that as many of you who are going to be listening and as many of you who are going to be watching on YouTube can learn what this cryptocurrency revolution is all about, and also how we as people of African descent can be a part of it. So today's conversation is going to cover a few things. We are going to learn what is cryptocurrency. We are going to learn what is decentralized and what is centralized and decentralized exchanges. So those are the first two topics we are going to cover. After those, I am going to share a few other questions with my brother Kwasi, and he's going to respond to them. And then we are going to build. We are going to invite some of you to join us, on Twitter. We are live on Twitter Spaces, and we are also live on YouTube. So thank you again, Brother Kwasi. I know that last week you introduced yourself briefly, and our audience members were able to learn a little bit about you. But I want you to take this opportunity to just quickly introduce yourself, share anything else I didn't ask, and then share with us, your cryptocurrency journey. This is a question I'll be asking you every week because many people are going to be seeing some of these videos after the first or second or third series. So just take a moment, share with us who you are and how you got into this cryptocurrency world. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Simon. Greetings to everybody who's watching right now. I'm thankful for the opportunity once again to be here with you and share the knowledge that we have on cryptocurrencies. I've been doing this since 2017. It's been a wonderful journey, and I'm glad to share all the knowledge that I've learned through this. So thanks for having me, and I look forward to having a great session today.
Thank you very much, my brother. I am also so happy that we managed to create time so that we can have this special conversation around demystifying cryptocurrency in Africa. And many people, when you hear cryptocurrency, when you hear Bitcoin, when you hear NFT, especially if you're in Africa where there is not enough internet penetration, you think that this is another Ponzi scheme, this is another cornish situation coming at me. And that's how I have been feeling since I started hearing about cryptocurrency. But then over the last year, I have seen the founder of the CEO of Twitter buying a lot of Bitcoin. I've also seen Elon.
He owns
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Kwasi.
Oh, you're talking about the CEO of Twitter?
Yeah.
He owns Square Cash App.
Yeah. So, when I started seeing people like him and people like Elon Musk embracing cryptocurrency, I began rethinking about my own stand about crypto, you know. And even earlier today, I was in a room, well, in a virtual room on Twitter Spaces, where I was learning that, you know, NFT, which is an offshoot of cryptocurrency, is now enabling artists to become, to have a voice. Because, you know, just last week there was one single NFT that sold for over $300,000, and then in 2014, and today I met the first person who minted the first NFT in 2014. So I know that we want to start from the basics, but towards the end of this, I want you to share with us some of the most recent events in the cryptocurrency world. So as we begin our conversation, please share with us, in your perspective, or from your perspective, what is cryptocurrency?
Okay. So cryptocurrency is digital money, and it can be used as a mode of payment. The other thing is it's decentralized, which means there.
Yeah, this is Simon here. I think we've lost my brother Kwasi Kabiro. His connection might not be very clear where he is, but we are currently talking about demystifying cryptocurrency. Demystifying cryptocurrency in Africa. This is a topic that is close to my heart because I am from Africa originally, but I live in Seattle, Washington, and for the longest time I've wanted to learn cryptocurrency from someone that I can trust, from someone that I know, and I could not find that person. And so the last 1 week I have been learning so much about cryptocurrency, and luckily there's a DJ friend of mine. His name is Kwasi Kabiro, and he's been teaching me so much about it, and I felt that instead of learning in hiding, I should bring this knowledge to the public space so that we can learn together. So, if you've joined us on Twitter Spaces, I want to encourage you to share the link to this Twitter space with other people so that they can also learn. And I also want you to know that we are live streaming this conversation on YouTube. I have Kwasi Kabiro live with me on YouTube. I'm going to share the link at the top of the Twitter space in just a moment. Kwasi, earlier you were describing what cryptocurrency means. Imagine you're describing this to young men in Kenya who are probably going to have internet access next year in a unlimited manner. For example, about 2 weeks ago, I was hearing that Kenya Power and Lighting is going to be providing internet at a small fee to everybody that has access to electricity. So imagine what these youths would be doing if they knew about crypto. So imagine you are at a base in Kenya where young men are probably enjoying Mira, and you're sensitizing them about crypto and how they can leverage it to secure their future financially. Please share with us what crypto really means.
Yeah, so at the moment we are in a digital revolution. We are going through a transition into the digital economy, and what that means is that in future, in that digital economy, there's gonna be need for a mode of payment. Right now is the fiat which people use from central banks, but now cryptocurrency is the game changer because one, it's decentralized, which means it cannot be manipulated the way fiat currencies have been manipulated in the past and even at the moment. So with something like Bitcoin, we'll see at a time in future when Bitcoin is going to be the reserve currency. It's going to replace the USD for sure. It's happening already. And we've seen some countries start up using Bitcoin as the reserve currencies. And laws are being passed about cryptocurrency. So it's just the right time to start getting into cryptocurrency and researching and doing due diligence, which is required for one to be successful.
Wow, thank you so much. And if you're joining us on Twitter Spaces, my name is Simon Javan Okelo. I am in Seattle, Washington, and I'm originally from Kisumu, Kenya. And I'm also here with my brother Kwasi Kabiro, who is also in Washington State, very close to Seattle, Washington, where I live. So we know each other very well, and I trust him. That's why the information that we are sharing is information based on trust and also based on research that Kwasi has been doing since 2017, and is deeply invested in the crypto world. For me, as an African person, it's really important to me that I learn things from African people, even though there's so much knowledge that is shared by many other sources around the world. When it comes to money, I feel comfortable when I learn it from someone that looks like me, is sensitive to spending the way I am, because I'm a young father just like Kwasi, so I know he's paying attention to his moves. That's why we're having this conversation, to inspire other young people like ourselves who are young parents, but also to inspire young people in the continent who are trying to find a way around this life, So now we are going to go to, when you're in cryptocurrency spaces, whether it's on Clubhouse, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitter Spaces, there's this thing called centralized and decentralized exchanges. Just break it down for us, Kwasi. Help us understand what this means.
Sure. A centralized exchange is an exchange, that is controlled by an entity. In this case, we have Coinbase, we have Binance, we also have CRO, and there is a lot of them, centralized exchanges out there. So again, a centralized exchange is one that is controlled by an entity, and a decentralized exchange is an exchange on the blockchain that is not controlled by an entity. It's purely just users providing liquidity and trading.
So let's say the US dollar. Yesterday I actually saw Cardi B, who is a very famous artist, asking on her tweet, is Bitcoin going to replace the US dollar? And you mentioned this in a moment. Can you relate that tweet to what you just described in helping me understand what centralized and decentralized is? So in this case, are you saying that the US dollar is a centralized currency and Bitcoin is decentralized? Just speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, that's correct. So the US dollar is centralized because it's controlled by the government, which is an entity, right?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And Bitcoin is not controlled by anybody. It's just an algorithm on the blockchain.
Right. I have a hard time hearing your voice. I wonder what that could be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you a little better now. And I just want to welcome everyone who is joining us on Twitter Spaces. My name is Simon Okelo, and I am very new to this crypto world, but Africa is very important to me. The future of Africa is tied to the political and the economic prosperity in Africa. And what I'm learning is that cryptocurrency, the digital currency, is going to form a very big part of what Africa becomes in the future, because cryptocurrency is already dictating what the financial system is going to look like. So that's part of what inspired me to host this conversation with my friend Kwasi Kabiro. So I want to welcome you, and I want to invite you to, share the link to this dialogue with other people that can join us. We want to continue moving on, but so far we've talked about what cryptocurrency is. We've also talked about what a centralized and a decentralized exchange is. Now we want to go to two other terminologies that are also very common in the cryptocurrency world. We hear so much about DEFI, and then we also hear about MetaMask. Then we hear about, Binance, Smart Chain. I want you to speak about these three things just one by one. And again, imagine you're speaking to someone who has never, actually I want to give you a perfect example, and this individual might be joining us in this room, in this, Twitter space in a moment. His name is Easy MB. He's an amazing digital artist in Kenya. Mm-hmm. And as we speak, he's actually struggling with meeting the needs of his family because he had a funeral recently of his nephew, and he spent most of his earnings in the funeral. So he's selling art through Instagram. And so he's been attending a lot of my events. I host the Daily African Proverbs on Clubhouse and also on YouTube. And so he's been a regular attendee, and he reached out. He said, hey, can I use your network to sell my art? I'm in a situation. And so I told him, have you ever learned about NFTs? Because I see that there are artists who are not as talented as he is, who are making thousands of dollars, And I also have a network of artists in Kenya that I work with. As the founder of One Vibe Africa, I have been buying artwork from artists in Kenya and bringing it to Seattle and then selling it during our annual fundraising galas. So I wanted to learn what cryptocurrency is, then learn what NFTs are, and then, with the knowledge I have, expose as many artists in Africa as I can to this technology and to this opportunity. So I just want you to break down, the areas that I was speaking to, and I want to just mention them quickly. Number one, I want you to talk about DEFI. What is this? What is CoinDesk? DEFI, what is it? And then talk about MetaMask. What is it? I wonder if MetaMask has anything to do with the metaverse, And then talk about Binance. What does Binance do? Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just want to big up yourself for the good stuff that you're doing with the artists back in Kenya, man. That's amazing, and just keep it up.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
On about DeFi, now DeFi is a technology on crypto. And let's see DeFi as the new banks in this digital economy that we are talking about. So what is going to happen in the future is that the DeFi are going to take over traditional banks, and in the traditional banks, we see you put your money in the savings and get a 0.6% a year on your money. But now on DeFi, you can get as high from as low as 5% to even 200% a year on your money. And now this is where MetaMask comes in, which acts as your bank account. So you need MetaMask in order to be able to utilize DeFi. And what you do, you just install the MetaMask on your computer, or you can have it on your phone too. So it depends on what you're comfortable with, but they all work anyway. So
thank you very much. Okay, so we are continuing to break things down, and really for those who are joining us for the first time, I am doing this because I want to learn crypto myself. I don't want to be left behind. Instead of learning by myself, I'm opening this session, which we are holding every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is the last one in 2021. But in January, we will begin again every Tuesday at 10 a.m. We will hold these sessions here on Twitter Spaces, where we can learn more about crypto and how we can demystify it, especially for the African continent, so that we can become leaders in this crypto world. Now, I want us to go a little further.
Hey, Simon, actually, one thing I didn't mention on DeFi is that you can also lend your money and you can also borrow money.
Oh, nice. So for those who are joining us on Twitter Spaces, I am sure you're probably wondering where Kwasi Kabiro is. If you look at the link at the top of the space, you will be able to click it and join us on YouTube, where we are live streaming, so that you can see our faces and understand who you are hearing their voices. But my name is Simon Javan Okelo. I am the host of the African Father in America podcast, which is available across all podcasting platforms. And typically, I live stream on YouTube and also on Clubhouse every day at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I do that because I love African culture, and I use African proverbs to bring African wisdom to the forefront. And so that's why I hold the daily African proverbs regularly, and it's the main content of my podcast. But once every week, every Tuesday, I invite my brother and my friend Kwasi Kabiro, so that we can really deepen our understanding about crypto. And we also invite you, if you're listening, if you have a good understanding of crypto and you want to ask a question, if you want to comment, if you want to share your knowledge, this is a good opportunity for you to either comment on YouTube and let us know your thoughts about how can we demystify crypto in Africa. We want to know your thoughts. And then secondly, what are you learning from this conversation so far? As things stand, we've been talking about what crypto is. We've talked about decentralized versus centralized exchanges. We've also talked about DeFi. We've also talked about MetaMask. We've talked briefly about Binance. I want you to speak a little more about it, and also MetaMask, how to set up MetaMask on Binance Smart Chain. Talk about those before we continue. Maulid, welcome. Thank you so much for staying here with us. And also Mubashir, thank you so much for staying here with us. Feel free to come and join me up here on the Twitter space, so that you can grab the mic and ask a question. If you want to be able to see Kwasi Kabiro and engage him directly, he's on YouTube, and we are live streaming this conversation. Again, this is a safe space for you to ask any question. No question is not good enough. So Kwasi, I'll pass you the microphone.
Thank you, Simon. So Binance Smart Chain is a a low cost platform where you can buy cryptocurrencies. When crypto started, we had Ethereum blockchain, and one thing about the Ethereum blockchain is the gas fees, which are the transaction fees, are way expensive. For one transaction, you can end up spending over $100. But on the same transaction on Binance Smart Chain, you spend even less than a cent. And you can get on pretty much about all the coins on the Ethereum blockchain on the Binance Smart Chain. So it only makes sense to use the Binance Smart Chain because of the transaction fees again. And not just Binance Smart Chain, there is other chains as well. There's one called Harmony. There is uh, Phantom. You know, it's a couple of them, and as we go, again, we will keep on talking and touching on this subject so everybody can familiarize themselves.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kwasi. I want us to continue just breaking down, the idea of demystifying crypto in Africa. And I am here with Kwasi Kabiro. We are recording this for the African Father in America podcast. I am broadcasting from Seattle, Washington. I'm from Kenya originally. And, we've been talking about quite a few things when it comes to cryptocurrency. I want to just share with you what we've covered so far. But before I do that, I want to invite you to, ping in people, share the link to this Twitter Spaces with anyone you know so that others can join us for this conversation. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is the link at the top of the Twitter space where we are at the moment. So that, as we open these spaces over the coming weeks and months, you can become a big part of it, because we are going to be doing this consistently for a long time, and we can't do it on our own. So if you want to join us, this is a good time for you to be a part of it. So far we've covered the following things since we started our conversation about 25 minutes ago. The first thing we talked about was what is cryptocurrency. The second thing we talked about was what is decentralized versus centralized exchanges. The third thing we talked about was DeFi. Then we talked about MetaMask. Then we talked about, Binance Smart Chain. Then we talked about how to set up MetaMask on Binance Smart Chain. And then now we have the last two things that we want to cover. That is PancakeSwap and also staking or farming. We want to cover those before we continue on. We still have so many things to cover, and I ask you to stay with us. And if you're listening to this on Twitter Spaces, I invite you to join us next week not next week, but January, the first week of January, on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be here again. So now we want to talk about, PancakeSwap. What is it? And then we want to talk about staking and farming. What is it? And again, I'm here to learn, and I hope you have your notebook and your pen, and you're also grabbing as much knowledge from Kwasi as possible. Thank you, Kwasi. Go ahead and share with us what these two things mean, PancakeSwap and staking or farming.
Yeah. PancakeSwap is a decentralized exchange which is based on Binance Smart Chain, and that's just one example. There's so many of them, but I prefer PancakeSwap. They've been there for a while, and they pretty much have most of the coins. So it's my number one go-to stop for crypto on the Binance Smart Chain. Um,
And then, okay, go ahead.
okay, yeah. So now on PancakeSwap, they which again is a decentralized exchange, they offer the farming and staking opportunities. So now, farming is when you put in your money, and you get rewarded in a certain coin. So you can so pretty much you're gonna use your money to verify transactions on the blockchain, and you get paid some fees for doing that, and you end up being rewarded in whatever coin that you're farming. So it's a good way to make passive income. And staking is pretty much the same thing as farming, but staking is you go 50/50 and um you combine. For instance, say you have 1,000 USD you want to invest, you will do 500 in USD and 500 in the coin that you want to stake. And we can use PancakeSwap coin, which is called Cake. So you can have 500 in USD and 500 in Cake, and put that in a pool, and you get rewarded again daily, which is another good way to make passive income. So that is what is, I mean, farming and staking. And there is there are so many platforms offering such. So we'll share what we think is legitimate, and we feel is going to be beneficial to our viewers.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And if you're watching or listening, welcome. This is the African Father in America podcast. And today we are discussing demystifying crypto in Africa. And I'm here with Kwasi Kabiro, my brother and my friend. Kwasi and myself are both from Kenya, but we all live in the diaspora. We live in Washington State here in the USA. And one of the things that I feel many of us who live in the diaspora need to know is that we have access to so much knowledge that we can share with many of our brothers and sisters back home. There's a saying that it's better to teach someone how to fish instead of giving them the fish, And so
Right.
our goal here is to provide the fishing net, provide the fishing rod, and then you decide when and how and where you want to do your fishing. So that's why we are here.
There.
Now we want to go into stable pools. What is this? I see that you've written about 5 things under stable pools, Kwasi. The first is Vox, then we have TFF, then we have BFI, then we have Blizzard, then we have Mira Protocol. These sound like Greek to me, and I'm sure also to the viewers and listeners of our podcast. Share with us what these 5 things mean to someone who wants to be involved in crypto. I really also want to go back to the idea of, passive income, because that's something that I am interested in creating for myself. And after this session, I would love to steal some of your minutes, some of your time, so that we can, talk about that and activate it. For me personally, there are things that we can't do during this live broadcast, but we can do it in private. But I want you to walk us through the stable pools. What are these?
Yeah. So these are just some of the pools that I've been following, and I've been recommending to people. That's why I call them stable, because I've seen them. I've been observing and following them anyway. So Vox is a coin that started when DeFi, hit the crypto world back in 20, I think it was 2019, 2020. And they offer decent returns, like up to almost 1% a day on the passive income. So you can imagine earning 1% on your money and getting paid daily. So that's a plus. And TFF is also from the Vox people, but it's been silent for a while now. So, but I still stake that. I still make money from it. And BFI is also another platform for farming and staking. Also, Blizzard is a coin which I've been following too, and they are very innovative in that they also have another coin which pretty much is you know, has a rising uh, price floor. So we can say it's bear resistant. And when I say bear, is mean selling pressure is it does not succumb to the selling pressure. So it just keeps on rising over time. So it's a good hedge for a bear season. We have the bear season and we have the bullish season. So when it's bear, it's going down. When it's bull, it's going up. Yes. And Mira Protocol is another platform. And what these guys have done is they have tokenized stocks, you know, like Microsoft, PayPal. Now you can buy these stocks as a crypto, and then you can stake them. So say you buy Tesla on Mira Protocol, and these stocks are now mirrored to the actual stocks in the real world. Say you buy Tesla, you can go ahead and stake it on the Mira Protocol website platform and earn, I think, around 14% a year on that stock. So which is another passive income, and it's pretty much like earning dividends on the daily. Yes, and Mira Protocol, they have their own coin too, which is called Mira. So when you farm and stake on their platform, they you get paid in Mira. And the Mira coin right now is around $3, but in the near future it's gonna be $100. You know?
Wow. Well, you need to expose me to that so that I can invest in it early enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I've just been joined here by, Hazel, who is a sister from Zimbabwe, and has been supporting my work, online, and introducing me to amazing leaders from Zimbabwe. And I've also been joined by Steve, who is my brother, and we work together. He's in Kenya. We are having a conversation here that is titled Demystifying Crypto in Africa. And my special guest, who is basically co-hosting this with me, because I don't have sufficient knowledge about crypto, but my brother Kwasi is educating me, and I felt that it's important that we share this knowledge so that as I learn, we also educate other people, and also we build a community in the African community worldwide, where we are more aware of what's going on in the crypto world, because the future of currency, the future of money is digital. And luckily we have one of us who is deeply involved, like Kwasi, and he's teaching us basically for free. So I want to encourage you, Hazel and Steve, let other people know. Every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time from January, this is our last session this year, we will be bringing people together around this topic. And the recording from our last session is available on YouTube. And then today's recording is also going to be available on YouTube, as well as on the African Father in America podcast. So Steve, I'll invite you so that you can speak or ask any question. And Hazel, I'll invite you to speak or ask any question. But if you want to share so that other people can join us for this conversation, you can go at the bottom of the Twitter space, and there is that share button. It's very close to the Twitter, like there's that feather and the plus button. If you click that, you will basically tweet this room. You'll be able to tweet this room, and people can know that this room is going on. And also you can share it. You can share this link with people in your DM, in your Twitter DM, or you can copy the link and share it with people on WhatsApp or other platforms. But the most important thing is I'm really grateful for your presence, and I'm sure Kwasi is also grateful for your presence. And we want to continue. We've covered so much ground today. I want to just share what we've covered so far. The very first thing we shared was I gave people a quick background of who Kwasi Kabiro is, and just in brief, Kwasi was a reggae DJ. He has done so much. He has owned a restaurant here in Seattle. He has organized a lot of events. He has a recording label, and all that time he was a cryptocurrency expert, and I didn't know until about 2 months ago. So a month ago I began pestering him and asking him, show me something, show me what you know. And luckily 3 weeks ago he agreed that we can begin recording these sessions, because the most important thing for both of us is that we share this knowledge. So today he shared with me a long list of topics that we've been breaking down. We will be ending in about 15 minutes. So we started with sharing Kwasi's background. We went into what cryptocurrency is. Then we talked about centralized and decentralized exchanges. We talked about DeFi. We talked about MetaMask. We talked about Binance Smart Chain and how to set up MetaMask on Binance Smart Chain. Then we talked about PancakeSwap. If you listen to the replay of this conversation or the recording on either YouTube or my podcast, you'll be able to really learn all these complicated words and what they mean. Kwasi does a great job breaking them down. Then we talked about stable pools. He broke those down really well. And now we want to talk about high rewards and high risk pools. Break that down for us, Kwasi.
Yeah, we have other platforms who offer farming and staking as well, and they have these crazy returns. What I usually do, I want to get in the very first week of such a high risk staking platform, and they offer up to even 10% a day on your money. So you can imagine just earning 10% for 1 week. You can double your money real quick and and get out. But I don't want to recommend this to to our viewers. But for those people who like taking high risk, this is a place for you. But remember, just invest the much you are willing to lose at any given time.
That's a key word right there. Invest the much you're willing to lose at any given time. Okay, that is noted. Keep going. Yeah, because it's always a risk, even waking up is a risk. You don't know whether you'll go to bed again, so yeah. Why not try? Why not try?
Yeah, so let's I think we need a special session for those high risk, and I can as we go through, I'll teach people on how to read the chart, so you can anticipate the drop and pull your money from from these pools. But again, you can make a lot of money just moving around these high rewards places, but they are also high risk, so they fall fast as fast as they rise.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if anything that goes up has to come down, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, we have 10 minutes before we end our session today. So I think where we will begin will be talking about high rewards and high risk pools. That's going to be our main focus during our next session. I just recently summarized everything that we discussed. So I want to invite Hazel, just share with us, some comments. What have you learned so far in regards to this conversation that we've been having about demystifying crypto in Africa? And then, Kwasi, prepare to share with us your closing remarks. How do you feel since we started doing this? weekly sessions, and where do you see this going? And then what message do you have for our viewers and people who have been supporting this small community that we've been building so far? Think about that while we hear from Hazel. Hazel, go ahead.
Hi, Simon. Thank you so much for the space. So I'm so sorry I didn't know you were having a space today, but I wanted to share how we can get more followers. So I got this trick the other time. So someone said it's called a waterfall. Like right now, there's two of us on the space, right? So we just simultaneously click on the share, like the little feather with the plus sign, and then we share all together. So I know you're the one with the biggest following. So our followers combined, if we do the waterfall method, we reach all our followers all at once. So just for next time. But thank you for this space about crypto because I've been trying to start investing. So I've been using the guy who's teaching me said it's called indices. So I've been trying to learn. I've been using the candlestick or whatever. It's hard. It's super hard, but I think I'll look into crypto because it seems to be easier. But it was basically saying the same stuff that Kwasi said, invest what you're willing to use. So initially I started with 1,000 US, and the first days I was making money, I would have profit 500, but then sometimes it would crash, and then at the end it crashed and I made a loss of 200. So I had to pull out the 800 before I lost everything. So I'm still learning. So I look forward to learning more and hearing more. So I just wanted to ask Kwasi, is crypto better than indices? What his thoughts are on that in terms of a beginner like myself.
Oh, hi, Hazel. Thank you for joining us. Um, and
Hi, Kwasi. Thank you.
yeah, so personally, I believe crypto is way better than anything because it's a game changer and the returns are just, unbelievable. So, and the best part about it, you don't get to lose money unless you sell your coin. So say you buy it low and the price dips and you hold it, you don't get to lose the money. But if you sell it, you will lose the money. So it's just it requires it's a game of patience and just understanding the charts and like you talking about the candles, there is other ways to predict where the price is gonna go, and we'll teach you as we go so you can become a better trader.
Excellent, excellent. Hazel, we can learn together. My hope is also to learn through this process and become the best trader in Africa.
Very possible.
Yeah, and then many people also belittle things like crypto. Many people belittle things like NFTs because they don't know. When you don't know something, you can say anything about it. Uh,
Right.
but I have seen how it has changed people's lives just like that. And I wanted you to speak briefly before you share your closing remarks. What are some of the most recent events in the crypto world that have kept you grounded in it and have kept you hopeful and have kept you confident that this is something that I have to teach Simon and our community in general?
Yeah. So I would say the most recent event was by the government of El Salvador to have Bitcoin as a legal tender. They were the first country to do that, and they also set up a Bitcoin mining facility using green power, using volcano power. So that's huge. And they also started the first Bitcoin bond, I think $1 billion Bitcoin bond in El Salvador. So man, it's just amazing what these guys are doing there. So also we had, you know, Tesla, they have their balance sheet on Bitcoin, the first uh, Fortune 500 company to do that. So you can imagine when the other 499 companies have their balance sheet on Bitcoin, where that is going to take us. It's going to be just elastic, you know, and explosive, right? Mhm.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you again, Kwasi, and I want to welcome Nohe, my brother Nohe. Thank you for joining us. And Hazel and Steve, thank you for joining us. We've come to the end of our conversation today. This is our weekly conversation that we are having around demystifying crypto in Africa. And I feel that it's important for me, and that's part of why we are having this amazing conversation where we learn, we share knowledge, and we want you, Nohe and Steve and Hazel, to be, part of this weekly conversation. So send me a DM and let me know if you're interested. I can create a group on WhatsApp with Kwasi, and then we can work together to build this weekly session, and then start inviting experts from other communities. But I really want us to ensure we continue building Kwasi as our African expert, because he's been into crypto since 2017. And so unless we have our voices in these spaces, we are always going to be spectators. Every day I go to, of course, every day I go to crypto spaces with 800 people, and you're just a dot in that room. Nobody even hears your voice. I want that by next December, when we go to crypto spaces where Elon Musk is, or where the CEO of Twitter is, it's known that there's a weekly African Twitter space that happens, and Kwasi is the expert in that space. He needs to speak about this, because Africa has over 2 billion people. Look at how much money the diaspora sends to Africa every year. A lot of it is just not saved in any form. Imagine if part of that money that is sent to Africa in form of helping our families or doing projects in Africa could also be invested in crypto. Where would we be in just 5 years? Forget about 10 years, just 5 years. So those are some of the thoughts that inspire me to engage in this type of conversations, and I feel that unless there's nothing you can do to be involved with these types of conversations. So for me, I'm learning and sharing, and also taking action, learning how to invest and deeply being involved. So send me a DM, and I will create a WhatsApp group, and we'll build it slowly by slowly, and add other African experts in the group and see where it goes. Again, Kwasi, thank you for making the time. I will be seeing all of you in January. Kwasi, asante sana. Say hi to the family.
Thank you, brother. Asante pia. Thanks for having me.
Asante. I'll reach out to you in just a moment.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, peace.
African father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to